Confused to see so many symbols? Don't worry. Today we are going to study about these. Hello and welcome to the chemistry class of Standard 7, Atoms, Molecules and Radicals, Module 3. There are 118 elements and these elements are arranged systematically in the periodic table, out of which first 20 elements you will be studying now. Now these are the first 20 elements of periodic table. You note down these elements along with their symbols in your notebook. The first element is hydrogen, symbol H, helium He, lithium Li, beryllium Be, boron B, carbon C, nitrogen N, oxygen O, fluorine F, neon Ne, sodium Na, magnesium Mg, aluminium Al, silicon Si, phosphorus P, sulfur S, chlorine Cl, argon Ar, potassium K and calcium Ca. Note down all these elements in your notebook and you have to learn also the symbols of these elements. Next is radicals. A radical is an atom of an element or group of atoms of different elements that behave as a single unit with positive or negative charge on it. Let us explain with the help of an example. Radical is an atom of an element. For example, one atom of sodium is represented as Na, and when we write sodium in the form of radical, that is sodium radical or sodium ion, it is written as Na plus. The plus sign is given as a small superscript or in the form of power. Similarly, one atom of potassium is written as K, whereas when we write it in the form of radical, potassium radical or potassium ion is written as K plus. K and plus sign as the superscript. So this is how when the radicals are present in the form of atom. There is another term used here, group of atoms of different elements. Let us see some more example. Ammonium radical or ammonium ion, which is written as NH4 plus. Here two atoms are there. One is nitrogen atom, another is hydrogen atom. In the subscript, that is below, is 4 written in small, and the plus sign is the superscript or the power. Another is hydroxide radical or hydroxide ion, which is written as OH minus. So from this it is clear that radical can be one atom as in case of sodium and potassium, or it can be group of atoms in case of ammonium and hydroxide ions. In this way there are various kind of radicals are there. Types of radicals. Radicals are of two types. First is basic radicals. Basic radicals means which are having positive charge on it. They are also called cation. For example, Na plus, K plus, Ca2 plus. They are called basic radical or cation. Similarly, the second type is acid radicals. They are also called anion. They have negative charge on it. For example, Cl minus, OH minus, O2 minus. So there are two types of radicals, basic radical and acid radical. They are also called cation and anion. So far you have studied about atoms, molecules and radicals. Now let us see how their comparison. The first one, atom. Atom is the smallest particle of an element. Molecule is a group of two or more atoms that combine chemically and behave as a single unit. The definition of radical is also the same, a group of two or more atoms that combine chemically and behave as a single unit, after that with a positive or a negative charge on it. That means in the radicals, they are either having positive charge or they are having negative charge. But no such things are there in molecules. Therefore, atoms and molecules are neutral in nature, whereas radicals are either positively charged or negatively charged. The third point, atoms are represent their properties of the element from which they have taken, whereas molecules represent the properties of either of the element or the compound from which they are taken. And radicals are nothing but they chemically combine to form a molecule. They don't represent atom or molecule anything. So atoms represented by their symbols like sodium, Na, chlorine, Cl, potassium, K, oxygen, O. Molecules are represented sometime by formula or sometime by symbol, like water is represented as H2O, sodium chloride as NaCl, oxygen molecule is written as O2. Whereas radicals are the charged particles, so they are represented as ions or radicals like Na plus, sodium ion, Cl minus, chloride ion, Ca2 plus, calcium ion. Now we will see how we can make formula with the help of these radicals. I have taken here basic radicals as sodium Na plus ion and another basic radical potassium K plus ion. Similarly, acid radical Cl minus ion and bromide radical Br minus ion. Now by the combination of these four ions, we are going to make the formulas. First formula is formula of sodium chloride. The sodium chloride, first we are going to write sodium ion. Sodium ion is written as Na plus and chloride ion as Cl minus. As in the formula it is as sodium chloride. So accordingly we have written two ions, sodium Na plus and chloride Cl minus. Now we are going to interchange their positive and negative charge. Sodium is having one positive charge at the top. So that positive charge will be interchanged with chlorine. So it will go to the right hand side from the left to the right by giving arrow. Similarly, chlorine is also having one negative charge at the top, which is called valency. That will be interchanged and it will go to the left hand side. So positive charge of sodium or plus 1 of sodium will go to the right hand side, whereas minus of chlorine will go to the left hand side. It is only the number that will exchange, not the plus or minus sign. So when we exchange, sodium will be written as Na1 and chlorine as Cl minus, and therefore the final formula of sodium chloride is NaCl. This is how stepwise you can write the formula of a compound. Next formula is potassium chloride. Now here we have two radicals, one is potassium, second one is chloride. So formula for potassium is K plus and formula of chloride is Cl minus. Now both are having plus and minus charge at the top. Therefore once again we will interchange. K plus, that is one charge of potassium, will go to the right hand side as 1 towards the chlorine, whereas the minus charge of chlorine as 1 will go to the left hand side towards the potassium. Therefore, potassium will be written as K1 and chlorine as Cl1. Since we don't write 1 and 1, so we will write final formula as KCl. Therefore, formula of potassium chloride is KCl and formula of sodium chloride is NaCl. In your notebook, you will note down the formulas stepwise where I have written over here by giving the arrow sign. There is no need to give these circles, but you must give the arrow sign. Now your homework is to write the formula of sodium bromide and potassium bromide in the same method. Both the radicals are already written at the top, that is sodium as Na plus and bromide as Br minus. Similarly, potassium as K plus and bromide as Br minus. You will follow the same process and you will write these two formulas also. So total 4 formulas you are going to write today. Thank you.
Today we will be discussing about radical. Now, what is radical? Here is a picture representing NH4 plus. Here they are not standing separately as separate elements, that is nitrogen and hydrogen, but they are placed very close to each other as a unit with a charge symbol on the head or superscript. This is nothing but ammonium radical with a positive charge. Now we can define radical very easily. A radical is an atom or group of atoms of different elements chemically bounded to form a single unit with a charge on them. Charge can be positive, charge can be negative. Radicals can also be called ions. Positive charge radical is called cations. Example NH4 plus. And negatively charged radical is known as anions, that is OH minus, which we say as hydroxide ion. How we get such formula? Just have a look. Here it is written NH4 plus, that is ammonium ion. Now we know it is made up of nitrogen and hydrogen. So nitrogen is having the valency -3, which we have already learned previously from the electronic configuration. And there are 4 hydrogen atoms. So we will multiply the valency into 4. We know hydrogen is having 2 valency, -1 and +1. But already we have taken negative, so we will take the positive valency of hydrogen. We will multiply 4 into 1. So now we will calculate -3 plus 4 and we will get the valency +1. We are representing as only simple plus as a superscript the charge. We can also write NH4 within bracket to prevent the confusion. But in maximum books you will be seeing it is written NH4 plus. This plus is not only given for hydrogen but as a whole of the radical, that is ammonium. Next example, hydroxyl ion, that is OH minus. We know the valency of oxygen, that is -2, and hydrogen +1. So now we can say overall charge, that is -2 plus 1, we get as -1. So it is written as OH minus. 1 is not written, we can understand that. So from this way we can get the different ways in how the radical can be written. Now we will learn the name of the different radicals, how it is given, seeing what elements are there to form the radical. For example, sulfite and sulfate. You can see the formula is SO3 2 minus and SO4 2 minus. Depending upon the number of oxygen present in the radical, we give them separate names. You can see in the suffix there is ite, I-T-E with the first one, and second one goes with ate, A-T-E. We can say ite is added as suffix if they are having less number of oxygen, and if ate is there, suffix means it is having more number of oxygen. Same here goes another example, NO2 minus, NO3 minus. You can name it by yourself. For example, the first one will be called as nitrite, N-I-T-R-I-T-E. I-T-E is added as suffix as it is having 2 oxygen. Whereas the second one will go with nitrate as it is having 3 oxygen. Same here, chlorite on chlorate. Chlorite means we can write the formula as ClO2 minus and chlorate ClO3 minus. So we can conclude here that if by seeing any formula ending with ite or ate, it can be understood oxygen is present in it. Now how we are naming? Let's go to the second rule. For example, carbon. Symbol of carbonate is CO3 2 minus. bicarbonate HCO3 minus. Now here you can see carbonate is having no hydrogen, whereas bicarbonate is denoted by hydrogen. Now here by word, wherever it is there, you should understand hydrogen is added to it. Charges may differ here, that is a separate thing, but by seeing the word bi, you will be understanding hydrogen is added to it. Same here, another example, sulfate. Sulfate and bisulfate. You can see that is again in bisulfate, the formula is HSO4 minus. So a small chart is being given to you to understand these. Now coming to the third rule. If the radicals are ending with a IUM, that means they are having positive charge. Example, ammonium. Here IUM is there, so we can say it is having positive charge. Same hydronium, phosphonium, you can see they are having positive charge. Next we will find some radical which is having H, that means hydrogen, N, nitrogen, or Cl means chlorine. Their valency will be always 1. Example, hydroxide, we will write as OH minus. That means they are having 1 as their valency. Nitrite, that means it is having nitrogen, so it is NO2 minus. They are having valency 1. Chloride, ClO2 minus. They are having chlorine in it. Cyanide, they are also having nitrogen, so valency will be 1. A small chart is being shown so that you can understand the different radicals ending or having hydrogen, nitrogen and chlorine as one of its constituent, then they will be having valency 1. Now remember, those who are having the valency 2 should have sulfur in it. Example, sulfite, sulfate. They will be having valency 3 when they are having phosphorus in the formula. Generally, most of the radicals are negative, but we will be having few positive also. Example, ammonium, which we have studied. Now here we will be seeing that how we name the different formulas according to their radicals present in it. For example, calcium carbonate. Symbol of calcium is Ca, carbonate CO3. Now we will write the valency as we have learned before. Calcium is having the valency +2 and carbonate is -2. Next step, we will just exclude the charges and just write the numbers. After writing the numbers, we are writing just calcium is having 2, carbonate is also having 2. It will be followed by cross multiplication. That means calcium will be multiplied by 2 and carbonate will be also multiplied by 2. Now we are getting the formula as Ca2CO3 whole 2. Now for avoiding the confusion, make sure that the radical should be written in brackets. As we are having 2 as their subscripts, we will be taking the HCF, that is highest common factor. We know HCF of 2 and 2 is simply 2. Now whatever we are getting the HCF, that will be divided by the subscripts. So when we are dividing Ca2 by Ca2 by 2 and CO3 by 2, we are getting the formula as CaCO3. Next example, sodium sulfate. The symbol of sodium we know Na. Sulfate SO4 2 minus. Now we will write their valency, that is +1 for sodium and -2 for sulfate. Sodium is a metal, so we are writing it in front, and then we are going with the cross multiplication excluding the charges. So sodium will be multiplied by 2 and sulfate will be multiplied by 1, and we are getting the formula as Na2SO4 for sodium sulfate. Now here don't make a mistake, that is 4 and 2 are not the subscripts for individual thing, because sulfate is itself a whole radical. So don't think it as separate elements. To avoid confusion, write this whole of the radical inside a bracket. Next we are having aluminium nitrate, the last example. Aluminium nitrate is made up of aluminium plus nitrate. So the symbol will be Al for aluminium and NO3 for nitrate. Valency of aluminium plus 3, nitrate minus 1. Metals we will be writing in front followed by the non-metal. Now here we will be excluding the charges and we will just write the number. By cross multiplication, we will be having aluminium multiplied by 1 and NO3 multiplied by 3. So we will have the whole formula as AlNO3 whole 3. There is nothing to take HCF here because we are seeing the subscripts as only 3 and 1. A small chart of radical is given to you. Just go through the chart thoroughly so that you can get the idea of radicals more in details. Hope you all will like the video and you can understand what is the concept of radicals. You can find yourself and solve out all the formulas coming ahead.